Morning students, welcome back to the geometry online session. This is the fifth session on circle. In the previous sessions we have learned all the basic concepts regarding circle, some theorems, and we have solved practice set 3.1 and 3.2. Today in this session we are going to learn the arc of a circle and some properties regarding arc of a circle. Now let's start with the session. Arc of a circle. Now can you tell me what is the meaning of arc of a circle? Arc is nothing but a part of a circle. Means if I divide this circle into small parts, then each part is called as arc of a circle. Now let's try to learn this arc of a circle in detail. Here I have drawn one circle with center C. Now I will draw one secant K which intersect the circle in two distinct points, point A and point B. Now can you tell me, due to this secant, the circle is divided into how many parts? Yes, in two parts. The one part where the center lies and this is the other part of the circle. So can you define arc of a circle? Yes, arc of a circle is nothing but any one of these two parts and the common point of the circle and the secant constitutes arc of the circle. Now what is the meaning of endpoints? Now endpoints are the common point of intersection of circle and the secant. Here point A and point B, you can see here these 2 points are common for circle and the secant. Therefore these two are called as endpoints. So you can write the name of arc with the help of endpoints also. So here you can write arc AB. But if you write arc AB, it can be a bigger part of the circle or it can be a smaller part of the circle. So what we can do to specify which part of the circle we are talking about? Yes, for that we have to select any point from each part of the circle. So here I have selected point Y from the bigger part of the circle and point X from the smaller part of the circle. So here I got two arcs of the circle. Which arcs? Arc AYB and arc AXB. So in the figure, due to secant K, we get two arcs of the circle with center C, arc AXB and arc AYB. Now we know that a secant divides the circle in two parts. Each part together with the parts common to the circle is called an arc. Are you getting it? Now let's understand few more concepts here. Now we know that we got here two parts. One is the bigger part and one is the smaller parts. So if the center of a circle is on one side of the secant, then the arc the arc on the side of the center is called major arc. So this bigger part of the circle is called as major arc. The arc which is on the other side of the center is called minor arc. So here we got two arcs, major arc and one is minor arc. So which one is the major arc here? Yes, arc AYB is a major arc and arc AXB is a minor arc. The arc AXB can be written as arc AB. Now here, if you observe this figure, I have drawn one circle with center C and I have drawn that secant which is passing through the center. So this is also a secant because it intersects the circle in two distinct points. What is the difference between the previous figure and this figure? In this figure, the secant is passing through the center of the circle. That means this secant divides this circle into equal parts. So here arc PRQ and arc PSQ, these are the two arcs we are getting, and these two arcs are equal arcs. So if the secant passes through the center of a circle, then each arc so formed is a semicircle. We know that when the segment passing through the center, it divides the circle in two parts, and each part is called as a semicircle. Arc PRQ and arc PSQ are called semicircular arcs. Are you getting it? Now here we have used secant to divide the circle into parts. Can you tell me any other way to divide the circle? Yes, we can divide the circle with the help of angle also. Here I have drawn one angle, and due to this angle the circle is getting divided into two parts, and this angle is called as central angle. Now why it is called as central angle? Because the vertex of this angle lies on the center of the circle. That is why it is called as central angle. So due to this central angle, the circle is divided into one smaller part and one bigger part. This smaller part along with this in points, point A and B, is called as minor arc, and this bigger arc is called as major arc. What is the definition of central angle? When the vertex of an angle is the center of a circle, it is called a central angle. So here angle AOB is a central angle. Like secant, a central angle also divides a circle into two arcs. Are you getting it? So with the secant also we can divide the circle, and with the central angle also we can divide the circle in two parts. The bigger part is called as major arc and the smaller part is called as minor arc. Now let's see some important points here. First point, measure of minor arc is equal to the measure of its corresponding central angle. So here in this figure, if you observe, angle AOB is given as theta. So measure of this angle is theta. So the corresponding arc of this, so this arc is corresponding to this angle. So if AB is the minor arc, then its measure of minor arc is also theta, because we have just now seen that measure of minor arc is equal to the measure of its corresponding central angle. Now second point is measure of major arc is equal to 360 degree minus measure of corresponding minor arc. Now we know that what is the measure of full circle, complete circle? It is 360 degree. So if you minus this measure of minor arc from 360 degree, you will get the measure of major arc. So that is the formula. So if you want to find the measure of minor arc, you should know the measure of corresponding central angle, and if you know the minor arc, you can find the major arc also. Are you getting it? Now in this figure, measure of major arc AQB is equal to 360 degree minus measure of minor arc APB. Are you getting this? Any doubt here? Now what is the third point we can see here? Measure of a semicircular arc, that is of a semicircle, is 180 degree. What is the fourth point? Measure of a complete circle is 360 degrees. So these are the 4 points you have to remember to solve practice set 3.3. Now let's try to learn the congruence of arcs. Now here I have drawn one figure. With center C, I have drawn two circles, smaller circle and the other one is the bigger circle. Now if you observe this figure carefully, I have drawn some central angles and few central angles are congruent. So here observe this central angle DCE. This central angle intersects the smaller circle at point A and point B, and it intersects the bigger circle at point D and point E. Now we have just now seen that the measure of minor arc is equal to the measure of corresponding central angle. So here measure of arc AB is also 70 degree and measure of arc DE is also 70 degree. It corresponds to the central angle. But can these two arcs coincide with each other? No, because arc AB is smaller than the arc DE. Now let's consider arc GF and arc DE. Now arc GF is also 70 degree and arc DE is also 70 degree. These two arcs have same measures. So if you cut these two arcs, can they coincide? Yes, they can coincide. So we can see here arc DE and arc GF are having equal measures and they are having equal radii also, because they are the part of bigger circle. But if you consider arc DE and arc AB, these two arcs also have same measures, but the radii are different, so they cannot coincide with each other. So these two arcs are not congruent, but arc DE and arc DF are congruent, because we know that to find out any figure is congruent or not, they should coincide with each other. So these two arcs are coinciding with each other, so they are called as congruent arcs. So two arcs are congruent if their measures and radii are equal. So only measures is not a condition for the congruency. There is one additional condition, which is that, yes, radii of the arcs, their radius and their measures both should be equal, then only we can see the congruence of arcs. So in this figure, arc DE and arc GF are congruent and it is written in the symbolic form as arc DE is congruent to arc GF. Are you getting this? Now let's see some properties of sum of measure of arcs. So in this figure, the points A, B, C, D, E are concyclic, means they are on the same circle. So we can draw here many arcs: arc AB, arc ABC, arc ABD, arc ADE. So many arcs we can draw here. We can also draw arc BC, arc BDE. Now let's consider two arcs, arc ABC and arc CDE. Now if you consider these two arcs, what you can observe here, this point C is only one point common for these two arcs. So such arcs if you add, then you can get measure of arc ACE, the full arcs measure you can get. So in this figure, measure of arc ABC plus measure of arc CDE is equal to measure of arc ACE. But if what is the condition? There should be only one common point between the two arcs. But measure of arc ABE is not equal to measure of arc ABC plus measure of arc BCE. Now in these two arcs, how many points are common? Point B and C and point B and C. These 2 points are common for these two arcs. So you cannot add such arcs to find the measure of the bigger arc. Are you getting it? There should be only one common point. Now let's try to solve some problems from practice set 3.3. First problem. In figure, points G, D, E, F are concyclic points of a circle with center C. Angle ECF is equal to 70 degree. Major arc DGF is equal to 200 degree. Find major arc DE and major arc DEF. So let's first understand the question. In this question, angle ECF is given as 70 degree and major arc DGF is given as 200 degree. And you have to find out major arc DE and major arc DEF. So if you observe this figure carefully, this angle ECF is a central angle because its vertex lies on the center of the circle. So this central angle measure is given to us, that is 70 degree. And this arc EF, this arc is the corresponding arc of this central angle, so its measure is also 70 degree. So let's write down here angle ECF is equal to 70 degree. Reason is it is given to us. Therefore, major arc EF is equal to angle ECF is equal to 70 degree. Reason you will write as definition of measure of minor arc. Now, if you observe this figure, if you find out the measure of arc DF, arc EF and arc DGF, if you add these three arcs measure, you will get a full circle or complete circle. And we know that the measure of complete circle is 360 degree. So here we know arc DGF, we know arc EF, so we can find arc DE. So how to find? Let's see. Now measure of arc DE plus measure of arc EF plus measure of arc DGF is equal to 360 degree. Write the reason as measure of a circle is 360 degree. Therefore, now substitute the values. Major arc DE is plus 70 degree plus 200 degree, that is equal to 360 degree. Therefore, major arc DE is equal to 360 degree minus 270 degree, that is equal to 90 degree. So here we got the major arc DE as 90 degree. Now we have to find major arc DEF. So we know that major arc DEF, we can add this major arc DE and major arc EF. Both are having only one common point as point E. So let's write down major arc DEF is equal to major arc DE plus major arc EF. Now let's substitute the values. Major arc DE is 90 degree and arc EF is 70 degree. So we get major arc DEF is equal to 160 degree. The answer we will get here is major arc DE is equal to 90 degree and major arc DEF is equal to 160 degree. This was very simple sum. I hope you all have understood this. Now let's move on to the last part of this session, that is assignment. Here I have given you one question. In this question you have to write the names of major arcs, names of minor arcs and semicircular arcs from the given figure. So at least two names you have to write down. I hope you all have understood this session clearly. With this, we will stop here today. See you in the next video, and thanks for watching this video.